We are going to refer to Brighton's ass as a, quote, warm passage.
Well, honestly, it's not a warm passage.
Okay, but you can't, like, the next time we hear an author say warm passage to refer to a vagina.
Look, it's a warm passage is gender neutral and everybody can have one.
Okay, touche. Hey.
Ooh, back from the dead. Who is it? It's us.
We are your exes that ghosted you, and we are now back. And we are texting you up.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are wondering, what are you doing tonight?
Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
That is Sarah, in case you forgot. I didn't. She still loves books after all this time.
Well, I'm in a bit of a reading slump, but thankfully that is Hope, and she still likes talking. That has not changed to my knowledge. Well, that's good because each episode I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them. And we are finally back from hiatus. And we took a little bit longer to get here because we both got knocked on our fucking asses.
I'm still a little bit sick.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was sick. Like, I got sick 3 weeks ago. I lost my voice for 3 days. I got my voice back, but like I go to choir for church and stuff. And I'm like, I'm still not right. Like it's been almost a month and you're just like, how is this still happening?
I spent what would be every waking moment that I wasn't at work last week, not being awake at all and just sleeping, like fully in a coma hours on end. And then like waking up for meals and going back to sleep.
That's the only thing you need to do when you're sick. So hopefully we have it out of our systems. I do need to go get like my flu shot and stuff, but hopefully we're in the clear for the rest of the holiday season and everything. But we are so excited to be back. And as a gift and an I'm sorry, take us back type of gift, we are going to do a double feature this week. We have this episode and then we'll have another episode on Thursday. And we've got some good stuff. I have a good mix this year.
I think it'll be great.
I think I have, like obviously we kind of go the monster route, but I think we've got a good mix of things that I have planned for books.
Amazing.
In the meantime, what else have you been doing during your hiatus?
What have I been doing for the past several months? So much that I kind of don't remember anymore. I watched a lot of WNBA basketball.
As you should.
So much WNBA basketball. It's if you're really locked in like I am, you're watching it the whole schedule. The most exciting thing that's probably happened, and we really can't get into it. It's not this kind of podcast, but it's that I was watching the newest season of Love is Blind and then realized midway through an episode that I knew somebody in the cast. That's crazy.
No, it is so wild. When you sent that to me, I think that's everyone's kind of secret hope is to know somebody on a reality TV show, and you knew this person fairly well.
It's like this person was locally popular, so I knew of them a lot, and then also coincidentally this person was good friends with one of my college friends in college, so it was like actually her friend. So I knew enough for it to be the greatest. I knew enough to have a picture with this person.
Okay, I mean, like that is quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's enough to be like, because like, look, I have a famous basketball player from my small town whose dad is a pastor in our small town and stuff. And so like, I know of him, but I would not have a photo with him. I don't think I could count.
You didn't go to Christian camp together when you were in elementary school?
I have probably never spoken a real word to this man other than maybe hi, but...
In fairness, I don't think that this man would know who I was or what my name was.
Okay.
I had a very big crush on this person because, as I previously mentioned, they were a local town baseball hero. And so I had every good excuse at camp to take a picture with this person. I don't think this person would know me from gyms.
Or they might be like, well, I think I remember her. I mean, like
that face looks like so vaguely familiar. And then they'd probably think that they actually knew me from my college best friend, which is not how they know me at all.
Do you like mentally categorize people? Because I like put people in buckets. Like I remember them from my hometown or college or where I currently live or a certain job. And so when they cross those barriers, I'm like, fucked up. I'm so like, no, you're not supposed to be in this place.
Stop being multi-genre. It's confusing.
I know. That was why it was so alarming. I think even we have a mutual friend who you introduced me to, and we became, I mean, it's Liz. What am I saying? She's been on the podcast.
She's all of our friends on this podcast.
All of our friends. So Liz was my good friend. And then I introduced her to Rachel. Turns out they used to work together at an old job. And I'm sure it was like what is this happening? Anyway, back to Love is Blind, though. Anyway. I have seen the craziest clips. I did not watch Love is Blind this season, but I've seen the craziest clips on social media. Looks like a wild time.
Yeah, the person I know was involved in drama like off the top of the season in episode 3, and then that ended up being like the least horrible thing anybody did the whole season, because this season's pretty the cast, excluding the person I know, is absolutely whack. So
you're like, the bar started really low and it just got lower.
Yeah, what I think happened to the person that I'm familiar with is that, as a person who's from the same background as me, almost exactly, maybe a little too normal for reality television. And I think that's okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. In my favorite recap podcast, he was rated on a scale of enemy to friend as a friendly acquaintance, because he said he wasn't homophobic. And other than that, they kind of didn't remember a lot about him being there.
Look, those are the real things that matter, though.
Honestly, there are a lot of villains, so pretty good outcome.
The clip I saw was extremely racist. So.
Yeah, it's bad out there. It's bad out there, and this most recent season of Love is Blind. Unrelated to the person I know, fortunately, but I don't know. The people that got cast on this season are, wow, so interesting. Anyway, so that's consumed a lot of I have one more. I really didn't go do anything. I just have one more fun little crazy story. I won't do a big crazy thing, but everybody knows that I work at a bakery, and the craziest thing happened, which was that we ended up decorating a cake for Fred Armisen, because they were doing a Portlandia show in town. And
so were you a part of the cake making, or were you not?
I made the lemon curd. I know.
If anybody has compliments who consumed this cake, you can definitely give it to her.
If you are Fred Armisen or Carrie Brownstein,
or
an affiliated staff member,
who made it to the party where this cake was at,
you let me know. There is a video of them singing Happy Birthday to Carrie on stage with it. The part of the story that is crazy is not so much like I didn't have a whole lot to do with the cake outside of making the lemon curd, finding out about it, and freaking out. But I had a coworker, all morning, me and my coworker were like, this must be a prank. That's so funny. Ha ha ha. Weird, crazy. But then a different coworker of mine, just so chill, was like, oh yeah, this is really for Fred. I talked to him on the phone for a half hour yesterday. He was asking for recommendations about what to do in town, and I'm invited to the show. And he was so normal and casual about it. And he had just had this information for like 24 hours, and none of us knew.
And that's how you know. Was it, I'm sorry, I'm going to stereotype. Was it a straight man who obtained this information and kept it to himself?
I can't confirm the sexuality of the person, but it was a man.
Okay. Again, not to stereotype, but I'm absolutely going to. It's that stereotype of like, why, like if I had that information, the first thing I would do is text you.
My coworker is a consummate professional, and thank goodness, because absolutely all of the rest of us were freaking out.
Okay. Good. Maybe it's a good thing that he took the call in.
Every time I see him, I'm like, thank goodness you're here, because if I answered the phone and talked to Fred Armisen, and then he gave me his personal number for continued contact about this cake, I would abuse this and be crazy.
Precisely. So maybe I shouldn't stereotype. Maybe it's just a man being professional.
It was, as it turned out, the absolute perfect person for the job.
Because I do have a very large mouth, and I will tell every single person I know.
Also, I don't care who you think you are. You're going to get excited and nervous around a famous person. You
Precisely.
Are.
Yes.
I've gotten excited and nervous around people who are only kind of famous that I don't even like.
As somebody who's had to be in the background of numerous rooms where famous people are in, I can confirm that being chill is very difficult.
Yeah, even for and we've met a lot of presidential candidates who don't even make it onto the primary. And even that I've been embarrassingly nervous about. So
yes, I will agree with that.
Mhm.
There's an embarrassing amount of times that I've been like, why
Not
am I
cool.
silently geeking out right now?
Why am I so excited to see this person I don't really even like that
I
much?
know.
It's just, wow.
It's just like to say that you did it, for the plot.
For the plot.
Well, if I may steal the spotlight, I
Yes.
had a very eventful last month and a
You
half,
did.
2 months, whatever it's
Yeah.
been now. I closed on a house. I did,
Amazing.
which is why my sound might be really echoey, is because I haven't set up my office yet, and so it's just a bunch of hard surfaces for my voice to bounce off of.
Beautiful.
But we did 3 weeks of rent. We being me and my stepdad and my mother, because I bought this house all on my lonesome. And I encourage anyone who is like, I do have somewhat the financial means in some capacity. I don't know your guys' financial state, but like if you are single and you're like, I can't buy a house because I'm single, 100% don't be held back by that. Cause like that has been a struggle for me the last couple of months of being like, I need to be married. I need to be with a partner. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? I'm almost 30 years old. Like, I don't need it shit.
No,
Like,
your finances can certainly hold you back, but your
Yes.
marital status should not.
No, but I think we have like this idea that we need a partner. But I will say it is hard to make some of these decisions solo. Like even like the basics of like, what do I want in the house? What colors do I want? Like, it's like, thankfully I've had a great, support system of my parents to help me like navigate some of this. And I have a stepdad who's a contractor. So it's been like amazing. But it definitely is overwhelming to do solo because it's almost like decision fatigue. There's just too many things. So that's consumed literally my entire identity.
Home ownership.
We started school up again. I traveled up to Milwaukee because there was going to be a book convention. Did not end up going to the book convention because it fell apart and there's so much drama around it. But I did go to a couple of local author events and got to meet some wonderful authors, including one of my fave authors, Lisa K. Adams, who wrote the Bromance Book Club. She was so sweet, so delightful. Also, S.T. Gibson was there, who's written a bunch of stuff too. I mean, it was very, very fun. So
awesome.
I did go in because I think when we were doing Reno, I was listening to a bunch of audiobooks and kind of plowing through them as I was like painting and doing stupid things around the house. And I think I got fatigued from like the same types of storylines. So then I kind of went into a book slump. Reading slump.
That's okay.
I'm trying to pull myself out right now.
This is a safe space, Sarah.
Thank
It's
you.
for readers and non-readers.
Readers and non-readers. But I do have book club this Friday, so I need to complete a book by then. So maybe that'll help yank me out a little bit.
In gear. Now that you're a little ever so slightly kind of more settled into your home, I think that will help too.
Yeah, I'm also, as previously mentioned before we started recording, looking for rugs. So if anybody has rug recommendations or like where to get a rug, please email saysmutpodcast.
How to know a rug will look good in your house when they all look ugly when you look at them.
I had it with the chandeliers. I had it with light fixtures in the bathroom. I had it with the rugs where I look at too many and I think they're all ugly.
Are all rugs ugly?
I mean, like, I'm at a point where I'm like, everything is the fuggliest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And I cannot see past it. Tough. So who knows? Maybe I need a break and like how I got through my last decision fatigue was I just went to a store and was like, I'm going to pick something. I just need to fucking pick something and just like leave with it. So we'll see, but I'm going to suffer. I shouldn't say suffer because I'm very grateful to have been able to do this, but I'm going to power through these decisions and try not to get too overwhelmed and then go into the holiday season again, not get too overwhelmed.
Look, if it gets too crazy, we can just put all of your decisions up to a vote on our Instagram.
Yeah, let's do only polls.
How do you all feel about interior design?
Who is an interior designer that listens to this? Please,
the podcast will still be Smut Books, but if you could load us with interior design ideas, that would be awesome.
Because that's my problem. I'm not good at putting it together, but I know what I like when I see it.
Yep.
Okay. That's what we've been up to. We've now spent 15 minutes yapping up a storm.
Yapping.
I have a book for us today, which I think is just going to kick us off on the right foot. Pick us up on the right page. What's the analogy I'm trying to use here? kick us off on the right foot didn't feel right.
Set us out on the right foot? Does it? I mean,
somebody's yelling in the car, being like, "What the fuck are you guys?"
I thought
saying?
you kind of had it when you started.
I thought so. Kick us off, start us off on the right note is, I think, what I was. Anyway,
kick
so
our note on the
matter.
Kick our note on the right foot.
Kick us note on the right foot. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Nailed it.
We are reading today Horny by Jayda Marx. Some content warnings. I do obviously normally sexual content, but there is one sentence of a mention of a pedophile at the beginning who's getting his ass handed to him. So like it's not like in depth about that. Okay. On Storygraph, it has a 3.56, and on Goodreads, a 3.91, which is kind of a deficit we don't see often.
Interesting.
Those are a little further apart than we normally see. But a little bit about our author. Jayda Marx has on her bio on Amazon, quote, "I live in rural," oh wow, I almost was one of those people who couldn't pronounce Ohio and almost said Iowa because
Ohio. This happened to someone in front of me at a wedding I was at this weekend out of state.
Classic.
Like, I get it. They're similar. It's the vowels.
Yes, it is. And I think I'm so used to saying Iowa that like for some reason my brain just was like,
it's the
Iowa.
It's the default. My shirt currently says Iowa. I bet that didn't help.
No, that probably doesn't help at all. Okay. Quote, "I live in rural Ohio with my 2 sons who drive me nuts, but I love them with all my heart. I enjoy reading and writing romance of all types, but gay romance is my forte and favorite. Twice the sexy men? Yes, please. My books are low angst and contain lots of heartfelt moments, steamy scenes, and a healthy dose of humor." So we are going to jump into this fellow Midwesterners. And I mean, look, I won't get on my soapbox, but now that I've said it, I argue that Ohio should not be in the Midwest. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying it's a bad state. It's just too far east. Okay.
Sarah's here to kick off our return from a long hiatus by immediately isolating. I should pull up the list to see how many people in our listenership come from Ohio.
No, please, for the love
absolutely
of God, don't. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad state. I'm just saying that it's a weird placement and it doesn't feel quite Midwest. It has the culture. It's just placement wise too far east. Okay, sorry. I will stop being a dick. But I'm going to start by asking you a question, Hope.
Okay.
Are you a very patient person, specifically when it comes to waiting in line?
I patient in the sense that I will not make a fuss about if I'm bored and annoyed about being in line because lines can't really be helped. But on the inside, I hate it.
Yeah, I would say I mean, obviously, I think we all get impatient in the fact of like, if you're in a rush, you want things to move along. I think we all get impatient though, like if somebody is taking up time that doesn't need to be taken up, right?
Yeah,
and that's why you're waiting in line.
Certainly true.
But I agree. If we're all in line doing, we need to all do our own things. Well, our main character, Yuri, has had a particularly busy day, including burning the dick off of a pedophile. So when he gets stuck in line for the portal to the other worlds, he's pretty impatient. He's like, I've had a busy day. I just need to get where I'm going.
I've been burning dicks all day.
I've been out here burning dicks. And you may wonder, what is a man like Yuri so busy burning dicks off and going to otherworldly portals? What does he do?
What's he do? Insurance,
taxes,
finance, bro.
Yeah, who knows? He's in crypto.
No!
The man explains it himself when he says, quote, "I am a punisher, handcrafted by Satan himself to keep balance within the universe."
Okay.
Yeah,
that answers my questions.
I mean, it's quite the long title for, your LinkedIn page or like a resume, but I get it. I mean, it's pretty high prestige if Satan himself is,
yeah,
plucked
out of obscurity. Satan was like, this guy could really burn a dick off.
He reminds me of me when I was younger. And I be burning dicks.
Sarah, when you first walked into the newsroom where we would meet each other and become friends, I thought, now that's a gal who I could tell could really burn a dick off.
The moment you started talking shit about our boss, I said she can burn a dick.
She's burning a dick right now.
Burning a dick right now. Anyway, all right. Sorry, I won't even go down that. We might get sued. Okay. So anyway, guess who is number one on his shit list, though?
Okay, no, this is a very complicated
Oh my
question. Because
Sorry, it's a group of things.
Okay.
It's very vague answer.
Okay, because I was like, people shit list, like people he likes to punish or people he's met at today, or
I'm just gonna save you because I really
Thank you. I was like, he likes to burn the dick off PDF files. I got that part.
Yeah. No, he just really gets annoyed with humans.
Yeah.
Because they have to deal with all these universes. It's not just humans, but they have a lot of universes to deal with. But anyway, once a year, he does get to go on Halloween night. The veil between worlds is lifted, and the demons get to go to Earth for a little R&R.
Look, if there's one thing I've learned in our time podcasting, and especially during our spooky months, it's that the veil is thinnest on Halloween.
It is so thin. It is not there.
People are past. It's barely their veil.
And this is almost seen as like the office party, the holiday office party, right? Sure. It is what people look forward to every year. They're like, about damn time. Okay, I needed this little getaway. So anyway, the politics in this underworld are kind of wild. They go into it, but I'm just going to kind of give you the gist.
Right.
There are so many demons doing different jobs that some of them can be kind of considered bad influencers, which means they kind of fuck with people who are doing, like, let's say, Ouija boards, or they're like doing rituals.
Sure.
And they're going to cross over and they're going to like mess with the minds during their one night of freedom.
Yeah. It's like every time a bad thing has happened to teens doing an Ouija board, it is because a demon in this world has come through the veil and really messed it up.
Exactly. But the problem here with these bad actors is that then those humans do stupid shit, which then makes Yuri's job harder because then he has to punish them later. And he doesn't have time given his very, very busy calendar. Okay?
A lot of people whose dicks need to be burned.
So, like, it is that coworker who makes your job twice as hard.
Yeah, you have me so involved in what you're doing that I'm doing your work and my work, and I'm behind.
Up. Yes, I am cleaning up after your ass constantly. Okay, so on Halloween night, when he gets to get away from the office a little bit, he can blend in with the humans because he is described as, tall, thick, and bearded, but he also has horns and a tail. So everyone thinks he's wearing a costume.
Great.
Right?
Stereotypical.
Precisely. Yuri specifically likes to go to Earth on Halloween to hook up. You don't have to worry about, I'm going to answer a few questions before you have them. He's not spreading his seed because all demons are sterile. Even if he could, he doesn't want children, and he is gay. He only likes fucking men. So,
okay.
Yep. We're good.
Good to know. We're no unplanned pregnancies in this story.
Probably. I feel like the author was like, I need to check every box to make this kosher.
Let me eliminate things that you might be concerned about.
Exactly. So while he's enjoyed his rendezvous over the years, he's kind of getting tired of this anonymous sex all the time, and it's maybe because he's kind of ready to have a mate.
Sometimes you got to settle down, find your fated mate.
Yeah, which each demon is rewarded for their loyalty and service. Okay, are you ready for a little lore?
Yes.
Okay. Yuri said that it started a long, long time ago at the beginning of time when gods created humans to look after the earth and shower them with praise. This is very stereotypical. We know this story. As the story goes, that we all know, humans became greedy, so gods created hell. Yep. But Satan couldn't do it by himself, so he created all the demons.
Makes sense.
And Fate, who is noted to be a woman, I just want it to be noted.
Just letting you know.
Yeah. Was especially happy with the demons' work to create balance, that she awarded each demon a mate to spend eternity with.
Aww.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You know all those stereotypes about demons. But the truth is that they are fiercely loyal creatures and they seek to please. but they can be very lonely creatures too, because they spend so many hundreds of years just alone, fire and brimstone, you know?
Burning dicks.
Just burning dicks.
It's hard to start relationship when your job is burning dicks.
I know. And as another technicality, because I know it's going to be a question, they can be mated with either other demons or with humans.
Okay. Yeah. It's mating is blind.
Yes. Mating is blind. And we're starting with our first season here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Woo!
Okay. Now let's get back to the plot. So the portals drop Yuri off at a random place on Earth because we can't just have demons grouping up in the same city to cause
it'd be obvious and
mayhem,
chaos.
Exactly. So he specifically, I like to picture it, and I know, look, we all hate Harry Potter, but
it's okay.
I have to make this reference because it's the only thing my mind imagined. But you know the bus.
The
big bus.
It's like a double-decker bus.
Yeah, the double-decker bus that he rides on. So he gets dropped off at 9 p.m. and he will get picked up at 3 a.m. Oof. So I'm like, I just imagine like the double-decker bus dropping him off and then being like, I'm coming back at 3. Yeah, you know, like have your shit together.
Be ready.
Exactly. So now Yuri is just taking a stroll down this unassuming neighborhood, kicking over mailboxes and digging his claws into cars, as you do, you know. And he sees a house, and it is that house on the block that everybody fucking hates because it's got this 3-story tall, frame. It's got the white picket fence, the pristine yard, and a giant sign that says, "No trick-or-treaters allowed on the property. Police will be called on violators."
Boo.
And Yuri's like, what the fuck? And he says, quote, "What kind of cock gobbler threatens to call the cops on children?"
You hope it's a cock gobbler, don't you?
Yeah. And so he decides to, because trick-or-treating is over, it's late enough now, that he whips out his dick and he pees on the sign, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
He continues to stroll down the block. He sees a puppy that he gets to pet, and he's so excited because he never sees never see puppy. He never sees puppies. Quote, "The old saying was true. All dogs went to heaven because their hearts were made of gold. Aww. Hell had a shitload of cats, though. They came to us upon their death, not to be tortured. Only an asshole would harm animals, but to be pampered and kept as mischief-making pets."
That's good.
I love it.
It's desperately sad that you don't get to hang out with dogs because they go to heaven and you don't get to go to heaven. That's like the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. But you get
cats are good. Cats are good.
Cats, yeah. Okay. Another thing you should know about demons is that they don't feel thirst or hunger until they come to Earth. Okay.
Sure.
So Yuri's like, I'm hungry and very thirsty. I would like to find a pub where I can get beer and some hot wings.
Me too.
Yeah. So he stumbles across this bar. I want to go back to the fact that he was in this very residential neighborhood and then just stumbles across this very poppin' club. Okay.
Well, why not?
Yeah. And all the guys are lined up outside wearing very skimpy costumes. And he's like, perfect.
Amazing. They definitely have hot wings here.
Yeah. And I'm sure they have hot wings. Okay. So we're going to switch POVs now to our other main character, Brighton, who is getting ready with his best friend, Sanji, to hit up the bars. And they are complete polar opposites. Sanji was outgoing and hooking up with everybody and anybody, and like very much like, I'm going to wear a mini skirt, tank top, all the things. Whereas Sanji is like, I'm waiting for true love. Even though I'm 22 years old, I'm saving myself for true love. And I'm very shy and quiet. And I'm going to wear one of those long sleeve shirts and long pants that have skeletons on them, like the skeleton outline.
Yeah. Well, that's still good. I would wear that though.
No, I would, but to show the polar opposites of these best friends. Right?
I will be covered. I'll be warm.
Brighton is also a little short king at 5'5". He's super pale and has light brown hair. And he would admit that he's fairly attractive, but he wouldn't say that he has sex appeal, which is why he isn't wearing a skimpy outfit tonight, Sure. But Sanji's like, well, at least let me put on some makeup to make like your eyes look sunk in it, let me give you a little something. So anyway, they decide to go to the hottest place in town called the Thirst Trap.
Hilarious.
Sanji is out to get laid, and Brighton is going to be a good wingman and make sure he has condoms. Okay.
Smart.
Yes. And so they go to the dance floor. They're having a time of their life. Meanwhile, outside, sorry, I keep hitting my finger against the table and I can't tell if you can hear it. I'm like, dum, 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 dum.
So I keep accidentally kneeing my own table.
I can't hear it. So I think we're in the clear. Hopefully no one hears it on the recording, but
don't tell us. We don't want to know.
Maybe I'm actually making the background noises of the club.
Yeah, this is one of those podcasts where we pipe in audio, like sound effects to go with what's going on now.
Precisely.
That's what we were working on during the break.
Exactly. Okay, so Yuri is stuck outside because the club has reached capacity, but he has the magic key, which is money.
Oh, I was like, his dick?
His dick? Burning another person's
burning
dick?
Off dicks?
He has so much access to money since obviously it's the root of all evil, but he obviously has nowhere to spend it in hell because they don't, they don't subscribe to fictional systems of finance. Yeah. Anyway, so he tosses a Benjamin over to the bouncer who's like, yeah, I think we could fit one more person. Yuri is immediately hit on by some blondie when he walks in, and he face palms the guy and shoves him away.
Yes, no.
And he's like, get out of my face. And this startles even himself because he's like, typically I would take this man and fuck him in the back alley. Like this, right. Why am I reacting so gutturally to having sex with some guy? And in fact, as he looks around the club, he realizes every person almost makes him nauseous to look at and even think about having sex with.
I really understand that.
You know what? I get it. Now that you say it, I understand.
Honestly, I get it.
Honestly, say less. So this is throwing him off his game until it happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
Quote, my eyes landed on the most beautiful creature I'd ever seen, a fair-skinned young human with gorgeous light blue eyes. Aww. Who was dancing, ... Well, honestly, kind of terribly, but it was adorable. He was adorable.
For sure.
This, as you can probably come to realization, is Yuri's fated mate.
Yeah.
He realizes he didn't just get dropped in some random town. It was fate that brought him to his fated mate.
Because she's a queen.
Yeah. And he's dancing with somebody else.
No!
Do you think this will stop Yuri, though?
Probably not, because he burns dicks.
Yeah, not for a second. Quote, I wasn't afraid to throw hands. Hell, I could light the fucker he was with on fire with the snap of my fingers as long as I didn't kill him. There were no rules saying I couldn't make him a little crispy.
No rules, just right.
No rules. But as Brighton made eye contact with Yuri, he grabs Sanji, who is the person he's dancing with, and yelled, quote, Sanji, help, a big scary man is growling at me.
Oh no.
Yuri is looking around for this big scary man. And he's like, I'm going to beat him up, Yeah. And then he quickly realizes,
oh no,
he is the big scary man being referred to. And he wasn't growling, by the way. He was trying to smile. So
honestly, I relate to that too.
So Sanji starts trying to defend Brighton, and it is made clear to Yuri that they are just friends. And even Sanji thinks that Yuri is flirting with him until Yuri quite literally says, quote, I'm not interested in you. I want him. And we love a clear communicator.
It's important to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, make your intentions known. So in the middle of the dance floor, Yuri holds a hand out and says, quote, it's so nice to meet you. Like a respectable, formal gentleman he is. Mm-hmm. They introduce each other. And then he gives his full name, which is Yuri Gnome. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Which means Prince of Death. And Brighton...
Don't worry, I just burned dicks, though.
Yeah, no. I'm not actually like... that high up on the hierarchy.
Like Grim Reaper.
Yeah. And Brighton is trying to pronounce his name a few times, like he's testing it out, and he says it over and over. And internally, Yuri tells the reader, quote, Sweet Brighton didn't know it, but every time my name was uttered by a mortal in their world, a human met his end. Thus, my name's dark meaning. My mate was killing poor bastards left and right. I didn't necessarily care, but I doubted he would be happy about it.
Look,
He's like,
that's how it works.
I wonder if that was a conversation later on, because obviously we're going to have a happily ever after. But like, is that a conversation? I shouldn't say, of course. We haven't always.
When do you introduce that to the person you're dating?
Yeah, like how many times, like when you guys go home for Christmas, or I don't know, the winter solstice, I should probably say over Christmas. But you go home for the winter solstice and you're introducing your parents and you give his formal name, and the parents start saying it a bunch.
So wrong every time. At what point do you just decide that you have to introduce people with like a completely different name so they're not just killing?
Well, and I think that's why he goes by Yuri, right?
Sure,
like
sure.
he's like, a nickname will be okay though.
It's like you've killed 5 bajillion people.
Yeah. So Yuri and Brighton go to the bar for a drink, but not before Brighton gives Sanji a like hug, and it makes Yuri a little jealous. So he bites his tongue off and swallows it, but then it's okay because his tongue will regenerate
okay,
immediately. So no worries on that.
Okay, but crazy move.
Yeah, crazy move to bite it and immediately be like, I'll just swallow it. Hold on. Did you ever have a signal that would indicate that you were in a crisis to a friend, like when things weren't going well?
No, but only because I was never really in a situation ever that would be necessary.
Okay. If you were like, I know you
Yes.
are married and have been in a committed relationship for a very long time, but like if you were, if you and I were at a bar, like what are we doing? What are we?
I mean, surely like, well, I mean, the real answer to that is I would sneak you a text of some kind. But if I had to do like, I mean, I'm sure I would just figure out like a hand signal, something. Well, you can't really go audible because if you're at a loud bar, it's hard to hear. So it has to have like a component of hand gesture or something,
or like a code word that would be easy to sneak into a conversation, but not too common. Right. Mine, with my New York roommates, was that they were going to text me that the apartment had flooded because that was a common occurrence, and the one time I asked like an SOS situation, they did not follow through because they did not get the text in time. Awesome. So I had to get myself out of that situation. But anyway, so Sanji and Brighton's is that that Brighton will start fake choking and Sanji will come over and help him and take him away from the situation.
Makes sense.
Which, by the way, Brighton immediately reveals to Yuri when discussing their friendship, like discussing his friendship with Sanji.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, show your cards immediately.
He was like, why would you reveal that? You don't know this guy that well.
Yeah. So they're talking about friendships. They're talking about perfect dates. They share what their perfect date would be. And it's not long until Yuri asks Brighton if he believes in soulmates, which Brighton says yes. So Yuri says, quote, I know that you're mine.
Wow. So strong, but he said it.
And actually, because we know that Brighton is kind of a hopeless romantic, so he's a little hopeful, and then he thinks Yuri is teasing him. So how do you think Yuri assures him, I am dead serious?
Well, I have to imagine that because he's a demon, there's some sort of like way. There's some sort of like demon way to prove that, or some sort of like way. I don't know. I'm just saying the word way a lot.
There's
like some sort of mechanic to his innate being of a demon that would prove like they have, I don't know, matching freckles, or like he knows everything about Brighton all of a sudden. Or
unfortunately, we have to go the old school route and just tell him that he's from another world and is a demon who comes during Halloween, and Brighton is his fated mate gifted to Yuri by fate.
Hey, we said off the top, communication is so important. And so just lay those cards out right on the table, see what happens.
And obviously, Brighton just completely thinks this is bullshit. Yuri proves it to him by snapping his fingers and conjuring a small flame in his palm. Yuri then anticipates the reaction he's going to get, to which Brighton just silently wraps his hands around his own neck and starts making a coughing noise.
Okay, right. Like, I gotta get out of
here. and Sanji yells from the dance floor, "I'm coming, Bri. Hang on. Help is on the way." And obviously, Yuri knows exactly what's happening. And he's like, "Come on, I just want to talk. Hold on. Please don't." He's like, "Please wait. Hear me out."
Please be normal and not crazy.
And anyway, immediately Brighton changes his mind and agrees to sit down and talk it out with Yuri, now in the company of Sanji, who thinks this whole demon thing is like so fucking cool.
He's not at all concerned about whether it's real.
No, Sanji is definitely the friend that's like, okay, like a yes and, you know, he's yes anding his way through life.
Always plussing the situation. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So Sanji is asking a ton of questions about Yuri's job, which upsets Brighton. So he like runs to the bathroom because he's like, I can't believe you like kill and torture people. He's like, okay, prude. And anyway, he's like contemplating everything that's happened when Yuri knocks on the bathroom door. And Brighton was just about to open the door when Yuri just rips the knob right off. And Yuri kneels in front of Brighton and begs for a chance to take him to the carnival, which is Brighton's dream date. That was like his described perfect date.
That's my dream date. And he knows it.
Well, no, they discussed it already.
Oh, they've had so much time to get to know each other at this point.
I know. I did kind of glaze
let
over
me
that.
Take you to the carnival.
Just let me prove it to you by taking you to your perfect date ever, which is the carnival.
Which we all know is the carnival.
Yeah, which we all know. Sanji is in the doorway, like behind Yuri, being like, do it, go. I mean, he's on his knees, like just yes, and do it for the plot. So they go to the carnival. Sanji stays at the bar because he needs to get laid.
Obviously.
They are getting all the carnival food. And when Brighton swallows like half a corn dog in one go, Yuri nearly loses his mind with horniness.
Sure.
Obviously. Mm-hmm. And, but it turns out that Brighton is a virgin.
Oh, sure. That's fine.
Not for much longer, though.
Not spoiler. Hey, spoiler. Jeez.
So, since they're all so full on fried food, they decide to go do some games. And Brighton sees a stuffed bear he really wants, and Yuri tries to win it for him in a ball toss. But it's clear that the balls are too big to fit in the hole. I had to give a little pause. Now that he knew the carnival worker was like ripping people off, he has to set him on fire.
But quickly, his dick is gone, son.
Gone.
Singed.
Brighton quickly is like, please don't set him on fire. And Yuri's like, fine. They then get the bear because they scared the shit out of this worker. Yeah. And this caused me to pause and say, I wonder what the history, like not the history necessarily, but what the validness of these carnival games are, that like, are they actually being conned every time? Because sometimes you see people win. So like, are they planted people? That's what I asked you. I'm like asking you essentially how what's the word I'm looking for? How genuine.
It's like, can I actually win a carnival game?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah. Like, how sincere are they on letting us win these fucking games?
The quick answer is you can with an asterisk, but the name of my research is called "The Only Way We're Going to Win This Carnival Game is If the Game is Not Rigged." Remember that. It's the only way we're going to win this carnival game, so we have to be careful. And the title of my research is a direct quote from our president, only I replaced the word lose with win and the word election with carnival game.
Jesus Christ, Hope.
Carnival games are...
I love how you just wanted something political and then you're like, I'm going to just braze right.
Well, it made me think of elections.
That's so fucking true.
And things being rigged. It was a 1-to-1 for me. Carnival games are so rigged that both AARP and Reader's Digest have in-depth articles about the win rate you can have on each one and how you can win them and or how you cannot win them. So thank you so much.
AARP?
Yes, I don't know. They're concerned. They don't want the elderly being scammed.
Got it.
So you got to know about carnival games. So thank you so much to Reader's Digest. Also, Reader's Digest. Or didn't
I expected more from Reader's Digest than I do from AARP, if I'm being honest, but I get why you have it on AARP.
I honestly thought that AARP made the most sense. In any case, that's my research sources. So TLDR, carnival games can be won, but usually it's only under very specific circumstances. And they're usually set up in a way that makes them look easier than they are, or that like kind of mess with your perception while you're playing them, or that manipulate physics to make them harder, and etc. And your ability to win, it depends on the game. And games do kind of have to be set up this way. It's kind of like a claw machine. Like if it was just easy to win, then people wouldn't spend as much money trying to win stuff.
By the way, just a moment. Recently, my 5-year-old niece, well, she's about to be 5, did a claw game for the first time. Okay. Yeah. And she got so bent and determined to get this giraffe. Okay. Oh, no. And they were at like some pizza place or something that had a claw machine, and she tried so hard to get it, and it was an impossible situation, right? Like it was dug under, it was not going to come up. And anyway, when they left the restaurant, she said goodbye to the claw machine and said goodbye to the giraffe. My dad mails her a giraffe. Aww. Then they had their birthday party this last weekend in which she received 3 stuffed giraffes.
Her whole personality is now giraffes.
Jesus Christ. The little girl already.
The 5-year-old woman.
The 5-year-old woman already is obsessed with dinosaurs and mermaids. And now we've just added another hyper-specific interest to her list. So anyway, sorry, you said claw machine, and I immediately thought of the rig.
There. That's even worse because like the I don't have like a concrete understanding of claw machine and how it works, but like the most basic way I can understand it and explain a claw machine is like you have a 1 and a claw machine has like a 1 and say this is not accurate 500 chance of you winning.
Well, because the claw doesn't have any strength to it.
But there's literally a 1 chance in every X number of turns. Say it's 500. It's probably not. There is 1 chance in every 500 turns that the claw will let you grab something.
Yeah.
To win, and every other time the like grab mechanic is set shittier so that you can't.
Oh, I get
like,
what you're saying.
It's randomized. So like 1 in every 500 times you can win, but also win within the series of the 500 consecutive games is random.
It's like crazy. Okay, that makes sense.
You can claw machines, I think, can be set so like they make a certain amount of income before they're winnable.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely insane. I mean, it makes sense. It's a model that makes sense. But
you have to make money.
Because half the time too, you're like, that claw doesn't look like it's pulling anything. Like it looks like it's not even using any strength, or power to claw it. That's crazy.
No. So I sort of think of a carnival game kind of like that. Which ones are easier to win? Well, after vetting a Reddit Ask Me Anything on carnival games and consulting human behavior analysts and experts and former game designers, Reader's Digest listed the odds of winning some of the most common carnival games, and AARP explained how a lot of these common carnival games can keep you from winning, with help from a man named Bill L. Howard, who is the writer of Carnival Fraud 101 and has investigated carnival games since 1978, because who has anything better to do than investigate carnival games? Not this guy, and honestly not me. It could have been my career. No one told me.
Look, okay, have you seen that trend on social media lately that's like, there is no autism in our country? Like, autism wasn't an issue before. What was your hyper
I've been investigating carnival games since 1978, and my neuro pathways are normal and everything's normal.
And I never took time. Sorry, we are not.
Look, we listen and we don't judge.
No, we don't judge.
In any case, so I went ahead and picked a handful of like the most common carnival games, and then have compiled through these articles what the odds were to win and the ways in which they're fucking with you. So, number 1, ring toss. Toss a ring on a bottle. 2 to 10 odds to win that game. often the rings that they give you to toss onto the bottles are wider than the neck of the bottles and are made of like a pretty bouncy plastic. AARP said that when you see a carnival worker make one and like easily make one in front of you, it can either be because they're using a bigger ring than they're going to give you to toss, or just because of the vantage point that they're standing at. So like it looks like you can do it because they threw it a different bigger one. So that's one. Duck pond. So the one where you have like ducks go around in a little circle and you have to get one off of a fishing line. That's going to give you 9 to 10 odds to win, kind of, because all you have to do is get a plastic duck with a fishing pole to see what kind of prize you win. But the rigging tends to happen in how many of those ducks would actually get you a good prize versus what. So like, if you've never played these, normally the bottom of a duck will have like a color on it, and then the color corresponds with a tier of prize. So the way that a duck pond game would be rigged is like, if there's, I'm just going to keep using 500 as my number. If there's 500 ducks in this pond, maybe 10 of them will get you an absolutely huge stuffed bear, and maybe the majority of them will get you like a shitty keychain or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, it's not that the skill of it is the thing that's deceptively hard and cheating you out of winning, but it's the like how they've set up your prizes that are doing it instead.
And I think you can't have like everything be hard. You know, you can't have the game all be hard. Because if I'm walking around a carnival or if I'm walking around the state fair or whatever it is, I got to feel like I'm winning something.
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. If you are doing like a balloon dart toss, so where they have like a wall of balloons and you get darts and you toss them and then you win prizes that way, got about a 6 to 10 odds to win those. Sometimes the balloons are underinflated so that they're harder to pop. Sometimes the edges of the darts are like super, super dull. And also sometimes they give you darts that are like light because it's harder to throw them hard with impact because they don't weigh as much. Basketball shoot, so anything that's got like a big hoop up and usually like a net down, and you get lots of big stuffed animal prizes. 4 to 10 odds on being able to win those. Sometimes the rim is ovaled instead of circle.
That's so fucked.
And it's sometimes smaller than normal. They're often placed higher than a regulation basketball hoop would be. Sometimes they give you basketballs that are overinflated, so they're bouncier and they're likely to bounce out. Sometimes they like purposely have big prizes hanging from the ceiling because it will block your shot.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right.
And you can win. I saw a lot of tips and tricks that are like, if you kind of get a spin on the ball, you don't want to hit. You want to like hit the back of the rim. You don't want to hit the. It's, I don't know. There's methods to do it, and people can be good at. You get like that. You can kind of skill your way into, but the odds might be stacked against you before you get there. In that they may have kind of given you like a shittier ball, or the angle is bad. The last one that I decided to pick up for funsies. There were a lot more carnival games that talked about, and not many of them are very easily winnable. As your standard milk bottle pyramid, stack up some milk bottles, get a ball, chuck them at them. Sometimes those games, the bottom row of the bottles will be filled so that they're heavy and they won't fall.
Oh
like full of like 10 pounds heavy, like full of like, which is crazy. Sometimes the softballs that you're given to throw at them are filled with cork, so they're lighter and won't knock down the balls. Sometimes the bottles are set up really close to like a curtain in the back, which just sort of more than you would realize props up the bottles and prevents them from falling.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They really thought of everything.
There's a lot. Even the game, because you mentioned like the one where there's a basket and you have to throw like a ball into a basket to get a prize. One of the things that they were saying in, I can't remember if it was the AARP article or if it was the Reader's Digest, but was that sometimes there will like be a ball in a basket already, and to demonstrate, the carny will throw a ball in and it will stay because the first ball that was already in there like dampens some of the ability to bounce out. Like if there was just one ball and you threw it, it would bounce around more. But since there's already kind of a weight down into the bottom, like it helps keep the ball in there. But then when they go to let you do it, they'll take all the balls out so that there's more surface area to bounce around. And also sometimes the carny will be using a heavier ball than the one you're going to be given when they demonstrate it. So,
I have so
it's
many
more
trust
likely to
issues.
you should. I mean, you should. They have to make money, so that's why. But like, it is also they also could probably make it easier to win, and they often don't. And that's just a taste of some of the ways in which a lot of very common carnival games are scam. They included guess your weight.
How do they guess
games.
the weight?
I don't know. There's a way. I didn't
Okay.
read into it. Or like when you do the ones where you shoot water in a little hole, but then they've
Yeah.
got like they always have like spinning lines around it. That's just to fuck you up. Like visually, so that you
Jeez.
miss. Like that's just the purpose of all of that is to make it visually very hard for you to focus on the thing you're aiming at. But
I wish I could dive in. You know what? Now we're going to research it.
you know what? Now
changing the
we're
podcast.
AARP members.
You know what? Now we're going to hyperfixate on just carnival games and how they work and the psychology of them.
All of a sudden, we've been investigating since 1978, and we're not stopping anytime soon.
That's incredible, Hope. Thank you so much. That may be
You're
one of my
so
favorite
welcome.
researches that you've ever done.
Pretty good. Thank
That's
you to especially
pretty good.
AARP for really
Yeah.
looking out for the ways in which games are scamming all of us, and especially the elderly.
Especially the elderly. Well, anyway, we're going to jump back into our situation where he gets this prize after he scares the shit out of the carny, who is set on fire, and then the fire is removed, and probably he's going to be emotionally scarred for the rest of his life.
He'll be fine.
So Yuri and Brighton have their first hug, and when they do, Yuri's tail like wraps around Brighton's leg, and Yuri makes sure that he notes that is not all his tail can do. You know,
Of course, it's not.
So they go on all the rides and have all the fun, and once it's time for the carnival to close down, Brighton asks for one more thing: a kiss. And of course, it's the most mind-blowing kiss to happen on this planet. But they have to go back to the bar and get Sanji. And Brighton and Sanji have a moment alone to debrief. It's that moment where you're like, I know you guys are going to the bathroom to talk about me, you know?
Yeah, it was like I have to let my friend know whether this was safe and worth it or whether we need to run away immediately.
Yeah. Brighton isn't sure if he can just up and move to hell with his mate or if he wants to wait another year alone without Yuri. Sanji is so on board for his friend to like chase love, right?
Leave forever and don't come back. Go to hell, girl.
Go to hell, bitch. But the best friends don't want to part from one another. I mean, they've been with
Obviously.
each other for so long. And Sanji promises he will be okay and that they will see each other every Halloween. Now, it makes it sound like Sanji is the only person in Brighton's life that would care that he is either on Earth or in hell. I should note that he talks about having parents who moved south after retirement and like, but I guess it's just not a factor in the equation on whether or not, you know, he's going to go to hell.
Not worried about them.
No.
Fine.
But then Yuri comes and tells them that Sanji can just come with them if he wants.
Oh.
And they will be stuck to the 1 year rule, but it's an option that Sanji could join. Immediately, Sanji says, yes, and, you know, he's like, he says, quote, there's a 10 out of 10 chance that I would end up in hell eventually anyway. But if I can stay with you and you can be with your mate, why wouldn't I do this?
All right.
Okay, sure.
Why not?
So they all have to get outside because the portal is coming to pick them up. And it appears and they step through. And while Brighton doesn't recognize this place, it immediately feels like home. Beautiful. There are these rock homes lining the cobbled streets. And it's just quiet and peaceful. There's no screaming or smells of ash. And it wasn't at all how he thought it would be. And Yuri tells him that they actually have a really good policy about work-life balance, essentially.
That's so nice.
Couldn't be America.
We also have 401k, maternity and paternity leave.
I'm sure they have paternity leave. I was just making fun of one of our friends because her place of business just got paternity leave, and she was trying to be like, you should come work for me. And I'm like, you guys literally don't get MLK Day off. You don't get any holidays off. You don't address paternity leave until the last year. Okay. That's crazy. Before they can discuss it any further, someone yells, "You!"
Oh no.
And a demon comes storming up to them and points a finger at them. While it should scare the shit out of Brighton and Sanji at first,
I already forgot Sanji's there.
Sanji is there. Honestly, I kind of feel like Sanji is the main character at this point.
I'm so sorry to Sanji. It's so funny that was part of the plot that I forgot.
Yuri knows this is his best friend, Bale. And Bale gets to Sanji and lowers his face in front of him and says, "You belong to me."
Wow. Convenient.
Sanji puts a hand on his hip and says, quote, "So take me, daddy."
Wow.
He's like, I am going to get laid tonight. So Bale tosses Sanji over his shoulder and carries him off. Sanji gives 2 thumbs up.
We never see Sanji again.
He says, "Hey, how does my ass look from up there?" And Bale spanks him. And Sanji says, "Be careful or you'll get a sticky shoulder."
Amazing.
Which is one of the cringiest things I've ever heard. Yuri brings Brighton back to his home and immediately takes him to the bedroom. No time to waste. He throws Brighton on the bed and literally rips off all of their clothes. And in case you're wondering, Yuri describes his own penis as, quote, "just under 10 inches, uncut and veiny."
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, when demons were created, they were crafted as after every man's fantasy.
Well, all right. I'll take his word on it.
Yuri does all the foreplay. He's eating ass. He's doing oral. He's tossing Brighton around like a rag doll, which I'm guessing if you are a tall, bulky man and you have a boyfriend or a mate now who is 5'5", dainty little guy.
Woo!
Yeah, I know.
Just chucking him.
Just the rag doll.
Like swing dancing, just throwing him side to side.
Seriously. Finally, Brighton is like, "Please give me your dick." This is the quote we get. Quote, this is from Yuri's point of view, I should say. Quote, "I didn't have lube and Brighton didn't have experience, but what we did have was fate on our side."
Amazing.
He goes on to say, quote, "She crafted our bodies for one another, so they fit together seamlessly without any pain for my sweet mate."
Wow.
I want to remind you. Thank you, mate. But also, Brighton is a virgin and Yuri is 10 inches. I'm so sorry.
10 inches uncut and veiny. Yeah.
Uncut and veiny.
The math ain't mathing, but that's the magic of fate, baby.
I guess. So even with that, Yuri is a very caring lover. Makes sure that Brighton is taken care of the whole time. I know we have historically made fun of how authors refer to the vaginal canal, but I would also like to offer that we are going to refer to Brighton's ass as a, quote, "warm passage."
Well, honestly, it's not a warm passage.
Okay, but you can't, the next time we hear an author say warm passage to refer to a vagina.
Look, a warm passage is gender neutral and everybody can have one.
Okay, touche. Eventually, they get off with anal. Yuri obviously giving anal to Brighton and Brighton getting a hand job from Yuri. Coming down from their post-orgasm high, they're just very, very excited to have forever with each other. We do have an epilogue.
Okay.
What do you think will happen in said epilogue?
Well, I'm hoping that these two and Sanji's guy are all having like fun hell dates and then going up to Earth for Halloween to really fuck shit up.
Yeah, you're pretty on par.
Awesome.
It's 1 year later. The two couples are smitten with each other. Yuri and Brighton are waiting in line for the portals when Bale comes up carrying Sanji over his shoulder. Brighton asks Sanji if he ever walks himself anymore, to which Sanji responds, quote, Mr. 12-inch demon dick wears my ass out so he can carry it.
And hey, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out Bale calls Sanji Bumblebee because he likes Sanji's stinger. I actually kind of hate that. I kind of hate the name Bumblebee.
Look, we weren't there for the development of their relationship, and I'm sure we'd love it if we were.
I want a book. Okay, Jada, I want a book.
The book. It's just Sanji being carried
all
Sanji
over the place. Getting ass from his man.
Getting really digged down and then being carried everywhere, which is honestly solid.
You know, another book we read was that they got carried everywhere. Ice Planet Barbarians. They got carried everywhere. Remember the piggyback rides?
Yes, so many.
Okay. So they're about to go through the portal, and Yuri asks Brighton if he wants to go to the carnival this year, to which he replies, quote, I've got a better idea. Let's go raise some hell. The end.
That's so cute.
Isn't it? Okay, that's our book.
Yay.
Obviously, the diversity we can talk about. First of all, gay love.
First of all, gay.
Love. And lots of different body types, lots of different things going on. I think this is a really fun book. Plot. What are you going to give our plot?
I just had to. We've been gone for so long. I just had to remember what our scale number was. I was like, it's not
out of 10. Wait a minute.
I was like, it's not out of 10. That was the odds of whether or not it could be a carnival game. We go out of 5. I'm gonna 5.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We've only had 68 episodes.
I've never done this podcast before. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm also going to give it a 4. I think we do a lot with it. I love the lore. I think we gave a lot.
Lots
you know what?
Lore.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Amazing.
We gave a lot of lore.
A lot of lore.
Smut, I'm going to give a 3. I think it's very normal. I don't want to say normal. It's very just sex. I mean, there's nothing crazy happening, but also they saved it for one scene at the end. You know, we didn't get a lot of scenes or anything. What are you going to give it?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Okay. The cover I just sent you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a real person?
I'm wondering. I'm wondering. I don't think it's AI.
Who could possibly know?
Are you asking
let me do
AI?
Yes. I was. No, it's not because I think it is. It's just because I wonder if this is a real person because it's kind of a hot person.
Touche. I don't think it's AI. It looks a little. I don't think it is AI.
In any case, let me describe it to you, sweet audience. So, background, all black. It says, in sort of Rocky Horror Picture Show font. Horny,
exactly the font.
It actually is exactly the font. It is, an MM paranormal romance hot holidays novella by Jayda Marx. Thank you so much, Jayda. Prominently featured on the majority of the book cover is a probably real hot man. Yeah. And he's kind of covered in gore. A little bit. Not like in an upsetting way, but just like a little. He's got like schmut. He's got like kind of like dark crusty schmutz on him. Hot guy, full beard, horns kind of coming out the forehead, holding a beer, wearing a big old ring, and he's got like wire, not barbed, kind of just wrapped around his neck.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Like a fun little demon necklace, who could say? And he's wearing a low V-neck button up.
Yeah, with a little
chest hair.
Yeah,
red chest, leather jacket. Amazing, handsome guy. That's Yuri. He's right there.
Yeah. What else? I mean,
that's pretty much the entire cover.
What would you give it? I'm gonna give it a 4. I think that's a solid cover.
Yeah, I'll give it 4. Solid cover.
Okay. That leaves me with 80%, and you are at 73%. I think that's a pretty solid start to our
Great start.
month. Okay, finally, what is your Say Smut moment from the book?
I suppose that it's like kind of
Because like there's nothing crazy sexual.
We just know that his tail can do stuff generally.
This is true.
It's impressive that this wasn't a say smut, but I guess being the ultimate male fantasy 10 inches uncut and veiny is very funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just honestly the part that say smutted me the most before he even got in a relationship was just that Sanji was like, yeah, I'll also just go to hell so that my friend can have a friend.
Precisely. Also, I love the amount of lore we just put at the beginning. We were like, you know what? I'm going to explain every if, and but you might have. The biting of the tongue and just swallowing it.
Yeah, I had forgotten.
Was my okay. Again, it's not that he bit it's that he bit it off, and then his automatic reaction was
like,
swallow.
What do you do? Spit out the tongue, and then there's just a tongue on the floor.
I don't think he would care though.
Maybe not, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that Sanji was so quick to like jump in and be like, yeah, but again, if
Sanji star of the show.
If fate was in working, then
and
fate
she always is.
Yeah, and she was like, we need to make sure we get Sanji to hell so that he can meet Bale. So
yeah, Fate was like, you're gonna want to go. Maybe that's why Sanji was just like, yeah, I'm absolutely gonna go. In the same way that Yuri entered the bar and was like, everyone is disgusting here.
Exactly.
Probably
okay.
like, okay.
Also, again, with the amount of detail, the whole him meeting a dog because he never gets to see.
Oh my god, that kind of just broke my heart. That actually made me deeply sad. I'm glad he got to see a dog, but then the lore made me devastated.
But he has cats down. It's not like they're completely deprived of pets.
I know. The problem is that you need to think of it in reverse, because I am more of a dog person. So imagine if someone is telling you, you are a demon, all cats go to heaven. Okay. I know they wouldn't. But imagine it, because it would make you so sad that you're happy that they're going to heaven, but you're sad because you don't get to hang out with them very much.
True. I'm thinking like if on Christmas Eve or on like Easter Eve, all of the angels got to go to, you know, the earth for a day, and like one of them ran into a cat and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I never get to see. Yeah, you have to understand how it's like when I see
dogs.
It's like when I see a service dog and oh boy, I want to pet it so bad, but I won't and I can't.
Yes.
It's a similar kind of feeling to that for me.
I get that. I get it. Well, that is our book. Do you have any other comments, concerns, or suggestions?
I drew a really beautiful picture that people can see on Instagram. But I had to include, obviously, there's
the tail.
Well, the tail, but I drew the tail before I knew about it wrapping around. So in stick figure, I did draw a tail just kind of wrapping around him.
Yeah, got it.
This is Sanji because he's also there.
Yeah, no, Sanji, I think, is the main character.
Brighton is wearing, you can't tell because it's a lot to draw and I don't have markers, but a skeleton, a little you see.
I love it. I love it.
Pretty good.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining us for our great return. And we will be back in a couple days with another episode that I'm so excited to reveal to you all. And in the meantime, be weary of strangers, but be open to fate.
Yeah, let fate guide you because she rocks.
Yeah. And stay smutty.
Stay smutty. Bye-bye.